Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar this afternoon. We're excited to share updates to you on our newest program, CET Barcelona, whose inaugural semester is in week 9 as of today. So thank you for being here. My name is Shelly Jesse. I'm the Vice President of Enrollment and Engagement at CET, and I'll be moderating today's session today. This session is being recorded, and you all will receive a copy of the recording at the end of the event. So please check your email and be on the lookout for that if you'd like to review it or share it with a colleague. And then we will also have time at the end of our session for Q&A. So as you think of questions throughout the event, please feel free to go ahead and drop them in the Q&A section that you should see at the top of your screen at any time, and we will be able to get to as many of them as possible in the question and answer time. And we're looking forward to a robust discussion here today on our program in Barcelona. With that, I would love to introduce our panelists for today. Joining me today, we have several colleagues based in the US who have been really instrumental in the launch and development of this program. We have Allegra O'Donoghue, who is our Director of Europe and Middle East Programs, Emily McGee, who is our Assistant Director of Europe Programs, and Rebecca Pisano, our Director of Academic Affairs. And then we're thrilled to have with us today Marilena Di Chiara from Barcelona, who is our new program director of CET Barcelona and who is also teaching for us this fall. She's been on the faculty and has been day-to-day in the lives of the students who are joining us for our very first term. So Marilena, could you please introduce yourself? We'd love to learn a little bit more about you as we get started.
Yes, thank you, Shelley, and thank you all for joining us. Tonight, so buenas noches, buena nit. It is my pleasure to share this space with you and engage in a conversation about our program in Barcelona. As Shelley mentioned, I recently joined the program the CET team as program director. I hold a PhD in humanities with the concentration on comparative literature from UPF, Universidad Pompeu Fabra. So my alma mater is our host institution. And I also completed my research training in Italy and then in Edinburgh and at Yale University. And I've been working in the field for about 20 years now, either designing innovating curricula or directing study abroad program, but most importantly, teaching with the holistic focus, which is actually our focus for the CET Barcelona program, grounding the students' experiences within the city, its history, its rich cultural fabric, and most importantly, its communities. So also as professional translator, it is my aim together with the team to continue blend languages and culture within every dimension of the CET Barcelona program.
Thanks, Marilena, and you'll be hearing much more from her as we continue. So this afternoon, just to give you a little roadmap, we're going to share a bit about the program vision, why we decided to go to Barcelona, and what our grounding focus was as we developed the program there, and where we are now, how the fall is going, what courses we're teaching, what we're looking forward to as we are ramping up quickly towards spring semester. We'll review our academics and curriculum with Rebecca and Marilena, share all about student life, our housing, our CET center, and our wonderful team, the rest of our wonderful team on site in Barcelona. And then we'll look ahead both with you in what you can expect to see from CET Barcelona the next year and answer any questions you might have about the program and its direction and how it can best serve you and your students as it grows and as it matures into a really central part of CET's program offerings in Europe. And for now, I will turn it over to Allegra, who will kick us off talking about the idea for this program and what's really grounded us along the way.
Thanks, Shelley. We began developing the CET Barcelona program in early 2024. And for us, this meant having a relatively longer runway than usual, which allowed us to be very intentional about building a program that really supports our mission to educate the next generation of scholars, problem solvers, creative minds, and to challenge students both academically and experientially to equip them with new skills and broader perspectives, and to foster critical thinking about difference, power, and equity. And so with all that in mind, our program goal for CET Barcelona is really about balance. It's about balancing challenging and engaging academic content, enriching extracurricular activities with independent exploration of Barcelona and the surrounding region in its European context. So when designing this program to support our mission and achieve this aim of balance for the student experience, we really kind of connect back to those core CET values that I think really make up a part of who we are and what our reputation is in the field. First and foremost, academic excellence. This program, as all of our programs do, offers rigorous, engaging academics. Students are really encouraged to choose to study Spanish. They are offered direct enroll options. All of our courses require field study components. And at the same time, students have a lot of flexibility in choosing and designing their course program. CET classes run 4 days a week, so students also have that flexibility and have 3-day weekends very often in order to travel and explore independently on their own. Meaningful connections with local people is another core tenet and pillar of CET programs. CET Barcelona is no different. Students have many, many opportunities and activities with Spanish peers. Through our connection with our host institution, UPF, students have access to campus events, facilities, student groups, and networks. Starting in the spring, we will be offering an internship option, which is another opportunity for students to immerse themselves in the local community. Volunteer options are also coming online. In addition to connecting with local people, I think another real priority for CET is robust student support with a real emphasis on our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and health and safety. So intentionally planning a smaller program size with a higher staff to student ratio allows us to provide ample student support, guidance and advising for staying safe, mitigating risk, and finding community in Barcelona. Also supporting that commitment to safety and quality and just student well-being overall is our housing model. We were very intentional and chose to offer very high quality housing in a residence model with excellent amenities, which really supports students taking good care of themselves in Barcelona. So they have access to gym and pool and options for physical exercise. They can opt into meal plans. There are restaurants nearby. They have kitchens where they can cook if they choose to do that. So they have a real range of options, and they are in a safe, walkable neighborhood. And then finally, we value partnership and really pride ourselves on our reputation of being a very collaborative partner with many US institutions. And for this program, we developed it in partnership with University of Minnesota through a close collaboration with a careful eye to both student and institutional needs, drawing upon both CET and Minnesota's respective breadth of experiences running successful study abroad programs. So now we can chat a little bit about the execution of this vision. Up until now, we are more than halfway through our fall semester, which is kind of wild to think about. Time has been flying by. We have 30 students in Barcelona right now and a team of 4 on-site staff and 6 faculty teaching. We are offering 4 day-long excursions outside of Barcelona, so roughly 1 per month, and then many, many weekly activities in the city. And you'll get to hear a lot more about these later on in the presentation. Looking ahead, we are onboarding 3 more staff for a team of 7 to support our large spring cohort, and are in the process of training 15 more faculty for a total of 20 to offer a wide variety of courses this spring. And we're very pleased with the progress of the fall program thus far and are really gearing up for a much larger and hopefully equally successful spring term. So now we'll dive a little deeper on the respective components that make up the CET Barcelona program so you can get a real sense of how these pieces work together and get a glimpse of the fall program currently underway.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. We have some exciting updates on the CET Barcelona academic front. As Allegra mentioned, for this fall, we recruited and trained 6 faculty and are welcoming 15 more in the spring for our course expansion. And we're super pleased with the caliber of professors we've been able to recruit. All are experts in their respective field, and most have experience already teaching US students, many of whom also have ongoing practical experience in their respective disciplines. And a number of them are teaching the syllabus that they developed for us. So they're not only delivering the content, but they created it as well. And as of this spring, we have many more course offerings in lots of different subject areas, including the arts, business, the humanities, and social sciences. And Marlene will go into more detail on those course options in a moment. And also, as Allegra mentioned, we have an internship option starting this spring. And those placements are based on individual students' requests and their profile. And that internship is combined with a 3-credit course. And we're really excited that Barcelona represents CET's 5th program site to offer the internship option. And I also wanted to note that as CET Barcelona continues to grow and develop, we're very open to working with our other partner schools to design course options that meet your specific curricular needs. So please do keep in touch with us about that. Also, this coming spring, we will almost double the number of students taking courses with our local partner university, UPF. And students have the option to take 2 UPF courses in the fall or the spring semester. And those courses are either taught in English or in Spanish. And although taking courses at UPF is completely optional, we do encourage our students to do so when possible. Next slide. So following our CET program model, we require a Spanish language course, or Spanish because of Barcelona and Spain, but we also, in this case, offer a Catalonian culture course as an alternative option. And during the fall and spring, we offer Spanish language at CET, at the CET Center, in beginning and intermediate Spanish. If students want Spanish courses beyond this, or if they're at the advanced level, they can take courses at UPF. And I just wanted to note that we're changing the title of the culture course beginning this coming fall. It's currently Spanish and Catalan Culture and Language, and it'll be changed to Culture, Language, and Identity in Catalonia. It's the same course, but just a more descriptive title about the content. And it's basically to give students a deeper understanding of not only language, but culture and who are people in Catalonia. It is such a distinct and unique region of the country. And so paired with this Spanish language and or the cultural course option, students then fill up their remaining course selections with CET courses and or UPF courses. And then in the summer, so starting in summer 2026, we'll have our first summer term. Students will select 2 CET courses, choosing between 3 options in the areas of business and marketing and 3 options in humanities. And that includes Spanish language at beginner, intermediate, and advanced level. And I just wanted to also mention, we do not plan to have a UPF option in the summer. I'll turn it over to you, Marlena.
Thank you, Rebecca. And as Rebecca and also Allegra mentioned, the experiential learning component is essential to us. It's actually what makes our program so unique because as you can see, we offer a wide range of courses and they are all absolutely grounded within the city's urban fabric, texture, history, and architecture in order to provide a local focus but framed by a global perspective. Courses span the arts, humanities, environmental studies, cinema, photography, architecture, with the cultural language and identity in Catalonia course serving as an overarching component to provide a critical foundation for the students' experiences in Barcelona. This is the course that I'm currently teaching this term, and I can assure you that the experience with the student has been just extraordinary. The way they are grateful for having a space for critically observing their experience in navigating the city, its languages, in its culture, and being able to share challenges, but most importantly, creative solutions that they are constantly finding and bringing to class in order to become comfortable with the uncomfortable, to appreciate the variety of cultural expressions and dimensions that we have in Barcelona. And just to give you an example of some of the field studies that fall students have already participated in, we went to visit one of the bomb shelters that were built in Barcelona during the Spanish Civil War. And these kind of experiences allow us as faculty to approach the exploration from a double perspective. In this case, a literary one, because the bomb shelter is actually the setting for one of the most famous novels written in Catalan, The Time of the Doves by Mercè Rodoreda. But it's also an important historical site for students to be able to trace the consequences and the cultural significance of the Civil War and the dictatorship in today's Spanish history and society. Students also visited the Museum of the History of Barcelona, where they've been able to actually touch, to see in a very tangible way how layered is the city, not only historically, because at the museum we can actually walk through the underground Barcino, the Roman 5th century city, the beginning of the city of Barcelona. But as I was mentioning, understand and critically analyze how layered is the city historically, culturally, and also linguistically. We also visited the Barcelona Center for Contemporary Culture. Students engaged in such meaningful conversation with the director of cultural programming. They've also visited some of the local and international bookstores in Barcelona, discussed with the librarian and with the teams as part of the Spanish language courses. They've also visited food markets. Each neighbors in Barcelona as its own, and it's been an opportunity for students not only to practice the Spanish language skills, but also to reflect on implicit cultural norms and actually to blend in the community, and also being able to recognize the specific identity of each neighborhoods. And so far, students are very excited about the opportunity of expanding exponentially the academic component through the city by reading and writing the city of Barcelona. And the CET Study Center, because of its privileged location in a modernista block within the Eixample district, which is the heart of the city, the 19th century expansion. Well, the CET Center, it is the perfect site for experiential learning. We are in the classroom, not only myself, but also the other faculty, and we ask the student, we invite the students to look outside the window so they can see what a modernista building look like. Or we can go to one of our biggest classrooms so that they can see the philosophy behind the urban design of Barcelona, which is based on equity and on providing urban spaces for residents. And the same it's happening with the business courses. Um, it, as you can see, the academic component is clear, and yet they are all grounded in the city's economic, entrepreneurial, and financial setting. Some examples of field studies the students have participated in. They visited the 22 Arroba, the Innovation District, which is located about 10 minutes from the residence. So again, students have the opportunity to really embrace and breathe in the city in all of its dimensions. So the Innovation District is a creative district, is a hub for startups and business incubator. They also visited the Barcelona Finance Hub, and actually this group of all students were mentioned in the hub latest newsletter, because the team really welcomed them. And also they're going to visit the Port of Barcelona. Guest speakers from local medium-sized family-owned companies are also coming to class to share their experiences with students. And lastly, the internship seminar that Rebecca was mentioning. The curriculum is strongly informed by the NACE competencies, and to us, it will be the opportunity to support students completing an internship placement here in Barcelona by providing a space for critical reflection, and understand the development of professional skills through intercultural learning and intercultural communication. And we will continue, as Rebecca mentioned, expanding our curriculum and always grounding our courses within local culture.
All right, so we are pivoting back to student life from academics. As you can imagine, students have so many options and avenues to engage with local people and really make the most of their time in Barcelona. And we're going to review all of those components now. The program has really been designed to support students to find activities and communities that they are interested in. So a number of key components are at play that are sort of always a part of the strong and dynamic CET student experience. First of which, as we mentioned earlier, is location. So we'll learn a little bit about the CET Triangle, which is an amazing location that is easily walkable with many public transit options that sort of links students to everything they need in their daily life between the CET Center, the university, and their housing. We mentioned before as well, high quality housing with awesome amenities, places to meet other students, our partnership with UPF, which means access to campus events, community. Students are able to join sports clubs, student associations, join the language volunteering program. They can also tap into the UPF Erasmus student network. And our students this fall have signed up for many of their activities, and we've been able to connect them with local students as well. The CET Center, which is sort of the home away from home and the heart of the program, is a space for students to relax, study, plan their adventures, and then always access our amazing staff for questions, tips, and whatever they need. We have a robust schedule of extracurricular activities and excursions organized by the program, and a number of really excellent resources in our virtual CET Center in Canvas, where we offer students information on places to study, ways to meet people, restaurants, shopping recommendations, etc. So all of these components really support our goal of creating balance between engaging academically and culturally, with exploring independently and kind of designing and customizing their own experience while abroad. So now we'll learn about them in greater detail.
Thank you, Allegra. As you can see, the CET Triangle is located right in the heart of the city center, in a very safe residential area. From the housing to the CET Center and to the UPF, students just have a less than 20-minute walk, I will say, which is very beautiful. Actually, from the housing to the city center, they can enjoy a view of Sagrada Familia, the Arc del Triomphe, and from walking from the city center to UPF, they will just pass by the Parc de la Ciutadella. And if they want to take the metro or bus, it will take them less than 15 minutes, and CET provides transit passes throughout the entire term. Regarding the area, there are also theaters. Actually, the auditorium, the Catalan National Theatre, is located very close to the student residence. The Encants Nou, which is the oldest and most renowned flea market in Barcelona, the Barcelona Design Museum, and also in walking from the city center, from the UPF, students can get a sense and familiarity with the urban design of Barcelona. UPF has 3 campuses, and students mostly take classes at the Ciutadella campus, which houses the Depósit de las Aguas. It's a library right now, but it's a stunning example of 19th century Catalan industrial architecture, and historically it is connected to the Parc de la Ciutadella. And it's also an opportunity for them to engage with the UPF local community. And as I was mentioning, the area is very safe, and students this term are constantly sharing with us, with staff and faculty, how easy it is for them to navigate the city and to move around the 3 locations that are shaping our CET triangle. So now we will continue sharing information about support that we are providing students in terms of student life.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Emily again, and I will be talking in more detail about another really important aspect of our program, which is housing. So our philosophy around housing and developing the housing model for Barcelona was to provide safe, secure, centrally located, and high quality housing for students. Our other priority was really to offer consistent housing for students, in the sense that we wanted all students to have the same experience in their residence, the same inclusions, the same amenities, the same cost, all of this included in the overall program fee. We really wanted to kind of keep it consistent and simple for the students. We all know that the housing market in Barcelona is increasingly challenging. And so ultimately, when we were looking at different housing models, we decided to commit to the housing residence that we are now using for our students at Bayo. So again, this was a departure from our typical CET housing model. We are all aware of that, and we are embracing the change with Barcelona. And it has really been a wonderful kind of component of the program, and a great decision that we made. So students all live in Bayo Marina Housing Residence, which is, again, very centrally located in the neighborhood Santi or Pobleno. And so students are easily able to access to go from Bayo to the city center and to UPF. So again, as we just talked about in the kind of CET triangle, that was very important to us to keep it centrally located. So in terms of amenities of this residence, I think the most important thing to note is that, as I said, all students are living in a private room with their own bathroom. So this is really important. Students are able to be comfortable and kind of have their own private space while living with their CET peers. So 10 rooms per floor. Bayo Marina has several kind of buildings or towers, and each floor has a common kitchen. So students still have to learn how to live together in that sense, even though they have a private room. They have to share a kitchen, work out kind of a kitchen cleaning and cooking schedule. And so they still get to have a roommate type experience, even though they're not living in an apartment or with a host family. The great thing about Bayo is that, again, there's a lot of fantastic inclusions. Students get weekly room cleaning, bi-weekly bed linen changes and towel changes. So it's really high quality, I would almost say a luxurious study abroad experience in terms of housing, for sure. In terms of safety and security, Bayo is extremely safe. Each student gets a key card for access to the building and their bedroom. And there's a 24-hour reception desk with a person at the reception, making sure that only people who live at Bayo can enter. There's also plenty of really great collaborative working spaces or common spaces at Bayo that students can use. Study rooms, a gym, restaurant, library type spaces. There is a restaurant attached to the Bayo housing. However, students have to pay for their own meals, and that is not included in the program fee. But again, it's really convenient, and students are able to go from one building to another. It's connected to the restaurant. Laundry is in the basement, so there's plenty of laundry machines. And again, the cost of doing laundry is not included in the program fee, but students have it at very accessible. In terms of meals, as I mentioned, students can cook in the kitchen on the floor, or dine in the Bayo restaurant, or many other restaurants and cafe nearby. They can do takeout, they can go to grocery stores, markets. We provide all this information in their online accounts on Canvas. And we also talk a lot in the pre-departure orientation and on site about how a student may manage their dietary restrictions or their allergies or any other lifestyle concern or question that they may have. So again, the most important part of this, I would say, is to retain is that we really put a lot of effort and thought into choosing our housing model, and Bayo and CET really closely collaborate on all of those aspects, including on student safety and any incident management and policies. There's really close collaboration between us and Bayo. In terms of the student experience, I would say that students are loving their time at Bayo. They like the accessibility and the modern feel and the fact that they have many things that they can use at Bayo. We had a recent student showing us and all of you kind of the day in his life with an Instagram takeover. I think at the very end of this presentation, we'll see a QR code for that. But he does rave about his living situation as well. So the last thing I will say about the housing is, although it's a great partnership that we have with Bayo and we are very happy with them, again, because of the Barcelona housing market and the study abroad reality, we do have to make decisions about number of spots that we reserve and kind of our agreement on that more than a year in advance with Bayo. So this is just something to keep in mind as you may be talking to your colleagues and your schools about how you may want to partner with CET, especially if it's a consideration of sending us a group or cohort of students. It would be really great to talk about that and discuss, as we have to make bookings a long time in advance. All right, next slide, please. All right, so moving on to the CET Center, we've heard a little bit about this a couple of times already, but to reiterate how amazing this location and amenity is, our CET Center is another thing that I think we are all so proud of. It's a beautiful space in a beautiful neighborhood of Eixample, as Marilena said. We put a lot of energy and focus on identifying this building that would serve multiple purposes for us and our students, staff, and faculty. Again, we were looking for a beautiful, centrally located and usable space that would achieve several goals. For example, we obviously needed a space that would hold many classrooms. We have 12 classrooms on 2 floors, so it really is a large space with high-tech equipment that really fosters deep, both personal learning from the students, but collaborative learning as a group of students and with professors. And we also wanted this to be an enjoyable community space. So not just an austere kind of classroom setting, but a really friendly, open community space where and a safe space as well, where students, staff, and faculty can learn, teach, and work together. So again, this is such a beautiful space. I encourage all of you to come and visit us and see for yourself. And it's very accessible. Again, secure with 24/7 security. Students get a key card to access the building. And there are lounges, offices, kitchens, and again, very centrally located in the city. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm excited to talk to you about activities and excursions. Again, this is something that we all developed, that took a while to develop for the first semester. And we're really excited that we have quite a rich portfolio of activities and excursions that we are offering to students, and will continue to offer them every semester. So the goals for us for activities and excursions are really to allow students to have cultural and immersive experience outside of the classrooms that are not necessarily academically focused. These are experiences that students may not necessarily get on their own. So again, students may not necessarily, we like to take them to places that we think they may not necessarily go to on their own. And again, we have attempted to offer a broad spectrum of activities and experiences, focusing again on the region of Catalonia. So, and all of these are included in the program fee. All of them are optional. So again, students can pick and choose what they're interested in, which gives them a great amount of flexibility. And there really is a lot to choose from. So we offer weekly activities in Barcelona, and then an excursion out of the city once a month. In terms of excursion examples, this fall, we have planned 4 different excursions. The first one was to Costa Brava, Tossa del Mar, and this was a beautiful experience. The photo at the bottom here of all the students is at that location. Students toured the Old Town, castle tour, and then did a fun crystal bottom boat tour, which everybody loved to see the fish at the bottom of the boat. The second excursion was to Tarragona and Altafulla, which is a famous location with a Roman amphitheater and various sites. We're also taking them to Montserrat, so again, kind of a classic excursion, but again, that holds so much value and potential for learning. And finally, they will also go to Girona, where Game of Thrones was filmed, and obviously also has many other cultural and immersive experiences and values surrounding that excursion. So again, really a lot of options to choose from. We are currently finalizing and developing the activities and excursions for the spring, and obviously with an eye to how do we scale up, going from 30 students to a lot more than that. I know we're going to get to that at the end of this presentation. In terms of activities, I'll share a couple that we have done. There's too many to name here, but again, we try to offer a variety. So we have already taken students to an area of Barcelona to enjoy montaditos, which are a type of tapas. And again, every time we take them to an activity, it's as much about the activity and the food or the location as the history and the culture behind that. We have taken them to La Merce Festival, which is Barcelona's biggest annual celebration, honoring the city's patron saint, where the streets come alive with music, parades, and traditions. We have organized a movie night, a flamenco show, a cooking class where they learn how to cook paella, of course. We've done, we will do a walking tour that focuses on murals in Barcelona. A theme tour focused on Gaudi. So again, so many different amazing options that students can pick and choose as they like.
All right. So I think many of us have found that a robust and skilled on-site team is really the secret to successful program and positive experience for students. The folks who make it all happen, who plan all these amazing activities and excursions, who work with faculty to ensure a really strong academic experience, and so on and so forth. And this spring, we will have a team of 7 staff in place to support students. So we have the director of Italy and Spain programs, and she's largely behind the scenes, providing expert guidance and managing program infrastructure. And many of you may know her, Emiliana Caldarelli. She's also our director of Italy programs. So she's really bringing that breadth of experience and that deep understanding of the CET identity and the CET student experience. We also have a program director, Marilena, who you all had the privilege of meeting today. She is leading the team in Barcelona, providing the academic vision, directing smooth program administration, implementing policies, coaching faculty, advising students. For the spring, we will have a new role of academic coordinator, and this role will really be supporting robust academic administration as we scale up for a much larger cohort, many more classes, many more faculty. This role will also support student advising. They will liaise with our host institution, UPF, and support faculty as well. Our resident director is the lead of the student life team. They support student engagement, manage health and safety, and serve as a real point person and resource for students. We're bringing on a second program coordinator, so we will have two coordinators. They are focused on managing housing, designing and planning excursions, and opportunities for engagement with local people, which include the extracurricular activities that Emily mentioned, as well as volunteer opportunities and supporting our internship placements, which is an academic component and an option for students. And then finally, we have a resident assistant who is a live-in mentor. They live at Bayou with students, and they are a resource who is physically close as well for any daily life questions, and this person designs and plans, also supports our activity programming, and really can help students network, meet people, and encourage their integration into Spanish culture.
Okay, so looking ahead, as you've seen, we have a lot to look forward to, a lot to keep working on, and we're ramping up to welcome 130 students in early January. We're going from 8 to 25 courses, and then as Allegra just mentioned, onboarding 3 new staff members. But we're already looking ahead even further. Custom programs will begin in summer 2026, and we already have 2 programs that are currently in development with our custom programs team. We'll also hold a standard summer program for the first time, and of course have another fall cohort coming in with what we hope will be a slight increase in the number of students. We're very happy to have a smaller cohort of 30 to get us started, but we're excited and ready to grow that number and to expand the scale and scope of what we've built in Barcelona to accommodate more students. Because of this, we do anticipate that we'll need additions to our course list, and we'll continue to develop our faculty network in Barcelona to offer new courses as the needs arise. And as Emily mentioned, our biggest challenge, not surprisingly, will be planning for housing capacity. To ensure that all students have the same high quality housing, we must anticipate enrollment quite far out. So we're working to ensure that we have capacity for this growing number of students now, so that we are ready to accommodate your students in future terms. And we're also looking forward to partnering with more institutions to fill your Barcelona program needs, to help you break up large cohorts in this popular city, which is a need that we've heard from several partners as we've been discussing this new program option, or to collaborate with you on faculty-led programs. In fact, we just hosted last week partners from the University of Minnesota and Yale University, including Kelly McLaughlin, whose notes you see here, and with whom we are planning a custom program for summer 26. So if you are interested or curious about adding CET Barcelona to your list of approved programs, please let us know what you might need as you begin the review process. We're happy to provide documentation, help facilitate a site visit to Barcelona, or connect you with current senders of the program as needed. We're also continuing to respond to requests for proposals for custom and faculty-led programs. I know it's a little late for most 2026 programs, but if you find yourself with the last minute need, let us know. We might be able to accommodate that. And we are already discussing 2027 programs with partners as well. And then, as Rebecca mentioned, we want to ensure that this program meets the needs of your students in your institution. So while the curriculum that's been developed has focused on business, humanities, arts, social sciences, if there are disciplines that are not currently represented on our course list that would be beneficial to you, please let us know. We're very much open to adding courses and customizing curricula for your institution, especially in the fall and the summer terms when we have increased capacity to accommodate cohorts from various institutions. We really do view partnership as a two-way street. So please share your ideas, your feedback, your questions with us. And we're really thankful for the feedback that current students and partners like Kelly and those from Minnesota have provided to us in the development of the program thus far, and would welcome the chance to hear from any of you on the call today about what you might be interested in as the program matures in the future. With that, we do have time for questions. So I'm going to just check in and see if there are any questions that are already here as my colleagues rejoin us. And you see a few things. Please go ahead and look at and put in questions as we speak, and we'll answer as many of them as we can. Okay, we have a couple questions already here. We have a question about internship placements. Rebecca or Marilena, perhaps, do you have a sense of what types of placements will be offered in the spring or beyond?
We will be focusing on matching student needs and finding with the perfect placement. So for spring, we have students interested in marketing, mental health, and entrepreneurship. And also the area where most of the companies we Kimberly already established contact, they are willing and eager to welcome our intern and train and coach and support them throughout the term. The area is the 22, the 22 Roma, the innovation district that I was mentioning. So it will be also the perfect location for students to move from their housing to their internship placement and to the CET center and to the UPF if they are taking classes there. And also we are actively expanding our portfolio to accommodate all students' needs in spring and beyond.
Thanks, Marilena. Marilena, while you're on, could you please speak to what your support of the incoming faculty is like? What is faculty training like and support throughout the semester? What has your experience been thus far?
Yeah, thank you. Well, we are actually with Rebecca. We planned a series of 3 sessions. Yesterday, we held one of the sessions for faculty starting to bond and create a community, because to us, this is also a relevant aspect. It is essential that faculty are aligned, not only in terms of reinforcing, respecting the CET academic policies and provide meaningful academic and rigorous academic experiences, but we also intend to intentionally foster a collaborative and cooperative learning environment for faculty and students. So there will be 2 sessions, then a live training session for faculty to be able to share challenges, solution, previous experiences. This is before the start of the term. Throughout the term, myself and the academic coordinator will be providing all kinds of support to faculty, either related to instructional design, so helping them with Canvas in order to ensure consistency across all courses, designing, planning, managing field study course components, organizing focus groups, and we already have ideas for a couple of faculty development sessions focused on specific topics that the same faculty, experienced one, and faculty who will be working for us for the first time have expressed as a need and as a desire to continue learn together in order to be able to combine, as we were mentioning before, this local approach, this local focus, but framed within a global perspective. Because in the end, our aim is to allow to equip our students with the critical tools to become better citizens, to become global citizens and change the world, such as we hope that we are doing with them together throughout each term in Barcelona.
Thank you, Marlena. Emily, we have a housing question. At Bayou, are CET students living only with each other, or are there other students on the floor with them?
Yes,
So
great
I guess
question.
perhaps like with the floor, you mentioned, I think 10 rooms per floor. Are our floors only occupied by CET students, or are they intermingled with other Bayou students?
Yes, so typically they will not be necessarily intermingled, meaning floors will be CET student only, but again, it depends on total numbers that we have. So this fall, our students are all on the same floors as each other without non-CET students. However, there may be non-CET students on the floor above or below, but typically for logistical reasons, our students will all be on the same floors as each other.
Okay, great. Thanks, Emily. Rebecca, a quick academic, maybe a future idea question for you. Could you speak about any studio hands-on kind of programs offered? Painting, sculpture, illustration, animation, game art, as well as maybe filmmaking, script writing. We don't have any of those courses now as far as I'm aware, but maybe you could speak to that or future ideas for development for sure.
Of course, yes. We don't have studio arts courses per se, not that we couldn't in the future. And I know that I don't know the name of it, but I know that there's a art educational institution, I want to say right on the same block as the CET Center. That is a possibility for future collaboration. I don't know if you know the name of that, Marilena. You're nodding your head enthusiastically.
Yes, it's just right next to our building. It's the Barcelona School of Fine Arts. It's an international institution as well with local faculty. And as you say, there will be a wonderful opportunity.
So that is something to think about for the future. There's also options through UPF. For now, we do offer art history. We have 2 art history courses, and we also have a film studies course called Women Filmmakers in Spain. So that's what we're starting with, that perhaps could meet some general education requirements, but that's certainly something that is something we're considering, and sounds like we have good opportunities in place, or possibilities that we can explore for that. So if there's particular components or aspects of that, we would love to hear it. And we've recently added studio arts programs and other programs in the CET portfolio. So it's something that we know something about, and we would look forward to exploring that for Barcelona in the future.
Great. Love that idea. One more question. We're getting a little short on time, but this person asked, obviously there are many options in Barcelona. And maybe we'll start with Marilena, and if anyone else has an idea on this, you can chime in. What about this CET model stands out as a different or special to you from the other options that are throughout the city?
Absolutely. Thank you, Shelley. Well, first off, the size of the program and the support the students are getting from us, the on-site staff, and from the US-based team. Second, I will say the quality of courses, the expertise of our instructor, the immersive intercultural learning component, and also as you mentioned, as Emily just framed the activities program, they are all telling a story. So we are accompanied the students throughout their journey in Barcelona, which is, of course, a geographical, a physical journey, but it's an intellectual journey. It's an emotional one. It's a journey of growth, change, and transformation. And we are doing so by creating a series of offering a series of activities that are mirroring the stages the students are experiencing throughout the term in Barcelona. And this is absolutely unique. And also housing, as Emily already explained. The dorm, it's absolutely beautiful, it's safe, and really students are very happy with this opportunity. And also for us, it allows us to actually be present and pay close attention to any minor circumstance, challenges, situation the students could potentially going through.
Thanks, Marilena. Well, as we wrap up today, I want to thank especially Allegra, Emily, Rebecca, Marilena for being with us today. We're so appreciative of all of you, especially Marilena joining us this evening from Barcelona. And we'd love to just remind quickly that our applications for summer and fall are open. So if you're advising students who might be a good fit for the program, you can find the information on our website. They can start an application today and work through any questions on the program with Lucy Goff, our student services coordinator for Barcelona, who has also visited the program and who is a Spain study abroad alumna herself as well. She's an amazing resource for applicants and students preparing to study in Barcelona. And then I put a link in the chat earlier, but here is another way to get to the Instagram takeover that Emily mentioned earlier. You can scan the QR code and see the full event on our YouTube page. Brandon, a University of Minnesota student, looped in his friends on the program to show so many aspects of life in Barcelona, his walk to the CET Center, hanging out in the student lounge, cooking in the kitchens at Bayou, seeing all the aspects of housing. They roped in another student to show her clean room. So you can take a peek inside a real student room. And then he even answered questions from our followers. So it's a really great way to see what life is really like on the program. And they, in fact, had so much fun doing this takeover that they've asked us to do another one later this term. So you could follow us on Instagram if you like, if your office has an Instagram account, to see that takeover. I think it's going to be around December 5th. But thank you for being here with us today. We love sharing more about this program in Barcelona with you, and we hope that you found it helpful too. You will receive a recording of the session shortly, and please reach out to us if you have any questions or any feedback or any ideas for potential development in the future. We would love to collaborate with you and engage with you on this program. Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon.